Them young girls, they do get weary wearing that same old shaggy dress. Yeah, yeah. But when she gets weary, try a little tenderness. Yeah, yeah. Oh, man, that's you know she's waiting, just anticipating for things that she'll never possess. Yeah, yeah. While she's there waiting, and without them, try a little tenderness. That's all you gotta do. It's not sentimental, no, no, no. She has agreed and care, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the soft word ain't spoke so gentle, yeah. It makes it easier to bear. You won't regret it, no, no. Young girls, they don't forget it. No, is their home happiness. But it's all so easy. You gotta do is try. All you gotta say, hold on where you gonna squeeze her, don't tease her, never leave her. Get to her, drop the time, don't bruise her, no, you got to love her, tease her, please her, got to drop, man, that drop, little, yeah, what to do, you got to know what to do, man.
Top of the morning, top of the evening, top of the night, whatever time zone you are on, we are live. Try a little tenderness. That's what we need to do in the USA. But some people have been here acting a fool. How you doing, Fly? And for the people in the bushes, when you get here, hello. I said I would come, excuse me, and stream again so we can talk about this Muller report and his hearing, him being up on Capitol Hill today. What I want to take the time to do is while I'm flying from Michigan to California next month, I'm going to actually read through there. They said it's pages and pages. So I'm going to read through there and see what I pull out of it. Uh, some very interesting things happened today. Some questions got answered that I wanted to get answered. And so, welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. Hey, Joy, how you doing? Like I said, I've always admonished people to subscribe to Fly, but Joy's Chit Chat, Joy, I absolutely love what you do with your gardening. Let me pause for a minute before I go serious. If you are not subscribed to Joy and you view this, make sure you subscribe to Joy's Chit Chat. Okay? Joy's Chit Chat channel. All right? Um, she got a green thumb. I love it. I love to see things being done organic. Oh, I love it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was wonderful. Absolutely loved it. So make sure you do that. Um, very and Fly, like I said, Fly does her music nights too, her game nights. Fly is a designer. She designed T-shirts, so definitely make sure you are supporting. Make sure you're supporting businesses. Okay, there are people here with legitimate businesses, gifts, and talents. Make sure that you support that, because if I need a big T-shirt order done or design, I definitely will reach out to her. I will. Uh, I always go back and watch it though, Fly. I always go back and watch it, even though I'm missing sometimes. When I look up, I'll see my notification. I get so many notifications coming through, and sometimes when I look up, okay, see, it's not always. I know what my modem better not be going back out because they just fixed that. Okay, it's still good. Oh, you took my oh, nice, Joy. Really, really nice. Nice. Let me bag this up. Some people be all up in my teeth. And then they be like, oh, your teeth is so big. No, my teeth is not actually when you meet me in person. If you ever see me, my teeth fits my body and my mouth. And even if it didn't, I would still think I was gorgeous. It's just like that. My parents raised me that way. Okay. But on to, and I'm just going to hit the highlights because within the highlights of the hearing today, it definitely go into some areas that I wanted some answers to. You know, some yes, no, what's up with this? And that got answered. So welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. And if you can't handle the truth, this is the wrong channel for you. I'm gonna tell you right there, right now. Okay. Hey, Alan, how you doing? How you doing? All right. Yes. Oh, okay. So I want to read this real quick before I go into the video. Fly said in January the 1st, she will be officially selling t-shirts and she's waiting on, okay, so she's getting her license and officially she will be selling her t-shirts. Like I said, she designed, make t-shirts. Fly, I have a host of design and I'm the person that always push the limits when it comes to design. So I definitely have to have you do some t-shirts for me, but I need you to know in advance, I'm gonna push the limit. I'm one of them people. Or I'll be like, okay, yeah, you can make this happen. I want this, and this. It's doable. People be looking like, oh my goodness, yes, good. So let's make sure we support. Make sure you subscribe to Alan too. All right, let's get started. Um, Yesterday was a good live, kind of laid back, chillaxed, cool. Today, let's turn up. I'm ready to turn this up. I'm gonna go straight into this video, the highlights of this video, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna have a discussion. I invited somebody up on the panel tonight. Let me go on to this video right here. Yeah, yeah. No, it's not it. No, this is it. Yes. All right, there we go. And if anybody want to come up before YouTube, officially does away with Google Hangouts on air, let me know so we can get off into this tonight. If you're scared, you may not want to come up here. Even if you're not scared and you just want to be in the chat and look, you can do that too. Uh, just know in advance, I will, well, nobody over here with no foolishness. You already know what I do. So let's get into this. Let's get into some highlights from the Muller hearing today, which should coincide with his report that he gave. Okay. And from my perspective, the Republican side came in a little pushy and aggressive, attempting to talk at him and use, their aggressive tones and be what they considered to be loud and kind of authoritative when they started off questioning him. Trying to spin and paint the narrative one way. However, I got what I needed to hear. Exactly what I needed to hear. So we're going to talk about that tonight. No one should get a pass. There should be no things such as wealthy privilege in America, white privilege in America, or no other privilege in America. You did what you did and it's not legal. Therefore, you need to pay a consequence for your actions. And I don't care who you are. Be you president, or you can be the little ant crawling on the floor outside. Makes no difference to me. You did something wrong, you need to pay for it. I'm trying to be playing. Hey, Lee. We'll do this real quick. Oh, I got a bunch of people saving this. Yeah, Lee. I think you should come on up tonight. Come on up tonight. All right. So let's get started. These are the highlights from the hearing. He was up there for 7+ hours. And I thought he came in a bit shaky. I want to say this before I even go into the highlights, because I'm not playing all 7 hours straight through. I'm not doing that. I thought he came in a bit shaky this morning. And eventually, I thought as time went on, I thought he gained more strength. And I thought he got more courage and boldness. And it's when he had to go between the Intelligence Committee that you saw that boldness and that confidence begin to surface. But let me start talking so we can get into this. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. Remember, real lions do what they do. Bold, courageous, and will go up against anybody, anything, anywhere, at any time.
Director Mueller, the president has repeatedly claimed that your report found there was no obstruction and that it completely and totally exonerated him. But that is not what your report said, is it?
That is not what the report said.
And your investigation actually found, quote, multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, Director Mueller, can you explain in plain terms what that finding means so the American people can understand it?
Well, the finding indicates that the president was not that the president was not exculpated for the acts that he allegedly committed.
Did the president refuse a request to be interviewed by you and your team?
Yes.
Yes. And is it true that you tried for more than a year to secure an interview with the president?
Yes.
And is it true that you and your team advised the president's lawyer that, quote, an interview with the president is vital to our investigation, close quote?
Yes.
And is it true that you also, quote, stated that it is in the interest of the presidency and the public for an interview to take place, close quote?
Yes.
But the president still refused to sit for an interview by you or your team?
True. True.
And did you also ask him to provide written answers to questions on the 10 possible episodes of obstruction of justice crimes involving him?
Yes.
Did he provide any answers to a single question about whether he engaged in obstruction of justice crimes?
I would have to check on that. I'm not certain.
You made the decision on the Russian interference. You couldn't have indicted the president on that, and you made the decision on that. But when it came to obstruction, you threw a bunch of stuff up against the wall to see what would stick.
Well,
and that is fundamentally unfair.
I would not agree to that characterization at all. What we did is provide to the Attorney General in the form of a confidential memorandum our understanding of the case. Those cases that were brought, those cases that were declined, and that one case where the president cannot be charged with a crime.
Okay, but could you charge the president with a crime after he left office?
Yes.
You believe that you could charge the president of the United States with obstruction of justice after he left office?
Yes.
Your investigation found evidence that President Trump took steps to terminate the special counsel, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Mueller, does ordering the termination of the head of a criminal investigation constitute an obstructive act?
That would be.
Let me refer
you to the report.
Let me refer you to page 87 and 88 of volume 2, where you conclude the attempt to remove the special counsel would qualify as an obstructive act if it would naturally obstruct the investigation and any grand jury proceedings that might flow from the inquiry, correct?
Yes, I've got that now. Thank you.
Mr. Mueller, did you indeed interview for the FBI director job one day before you were appointed a special counsel?
My understanding is not applying for the job. I was asked to give my input on what it would take to do the job, which triggered the interview you're talking about.
So you don't recall on May 16, 2017, that you interviewed with the president regarding the FBI director job?
I interviewed with the president, and
regarding the FBI director job?
It was about the job, but not about me applying for the job.
So your statement here today is that you didn't interview to apply for the FBI director job?
That's correct.
Can't the president fire the FBI director at any time without reason under Article 1 of the Constitution?
Yes.
Article 2?
Yes.
That's correct. Can't he also fire you as special counsel at any time without any reason?
I believe that to be the case.
Under Article 2?
Hold on just a second. You said without any reason. I know that special counsel can be fired. I'm not certain it extends to for whatever reason is given.
Well, and you've testified that you weren't fired. You were able to complete your investigation in full. Is that correct?
I'm not going to add to what I've stated before.
My time's expired.
Putting aside the president, if other witnesses had lied to your investigators in response to Pacific's questions, whether in writing or in an interview, could they be charged with false statement crimes?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. I think you're asking for me to speculate, given a set of circumstances.
Well, let's put it more specific. What if I had made a false statement to an investigator on your team? Could I go to jail for up to 5 years?
Yes.
Yes.
Although it's Congress, so.
Well, that's the point, though, isn't it? That no one is above the law.
That's true.
Not you, not the Congress, and certainly not the president.
It was near instant phenomenon.
So those are the highlights I wanted to hit real quick. Yes or no, could he be charged with obstruction of justice? The answer to the question is yes. My question is, why wait? I understand how they're trying to be so delicate when it comes to not charging a sitting president. However, another highlight that they didn't put in there was the fact that he went through Trump number 45's attorneys and everyone he had working around him and said every last one of them lied. All of them. All of them. Then it gets to a point during the hearing where he says he would not have believed where, quote unquote, number 45 friends said if he would have been in there and been questioned, he would have told several lies. If the FBI would have questioned him, he would have told several lies. That's on record and in writing. Okay. So I cannot wait to read through this report. But I'm happy he actually went up there. He got subpoenaed to appear before the Congress in the Senate. So we get here in short. He either can or cannot be charged with obstruction of justice. Yes, he can. And another pivotal part that they didn't show in the highlight was the fact that he made it very plain and clear that the Russians hacked us. The Russians are still hacking us. And it's going to be much worse this time when it comes to our elections, that the Russians did indeed hack the voters' registration database, that the Russians did indeed target Black people, that the Russians did indeed sit down and make up a bunch of false and fake news stories that they pushed out there that got repeated repetitively by over 6+ million people. So, to the Russian government, Putin, I got an issue. I got some issues with him. And to the people who was over there hacking and targeting Black people, I got some issues with that too. And to the people who's sitting down co-signing for this foolishness for this quote unquote president over here, I got some issues with you too. And Alan, when they got to the Attorney General, Barr and Jeff Sessions, especially Jeff Sessions, he said, when you are the Attorney General for the United States of America, who do you work for, the president or the people? Muller said, you're supposed to work for the people. They said, okay. Fly, that was a very good point that the Congresswoman brought up. You are not above the law. He was sworn in to protect and uphold America and its laws and values. But he hadn't done that. And people, you know, quite naturally, he would tweet out a lie. He's been lying from day one, been lying since he's been in there. Every word that comes out of his mouth is basically a lie. I don't believe anything he says. And Muller made it very plain. He's not an ignorant man, and Muller refused, and I do not blame him at his age. Muller is making it known that he's not going to prison for anybody. No wealthy person, no president, or anyone else. He was under oath. He went up there to tell the truth, like it or not. Not going to prison for nobody, and I don't blame him. Yes, number 45 can be held for obstruction of justice once he's no longer the president. But I say, why wait? What are we waiting for? For what? Because when Clinton was getting bop in the White House, and he lied about that, even though he did not physically sleep with her, he was just getting some bop top. The impeachment process started. Here we have somebody obstructing justice, and it's going to lead to collusion with the Russians, serving as the president of the United States. But they still hacking our systems like they've been, but it's getting progressively worse. But it's okay. And he's the president over here because of, and he's not being charged, and they're not bringing and not going after or pushing the issue through aggressively because of what? Today lets me know they have everything they need. They always had everything that they needed. And Robert Mueller and them did a thorough investigation. They wanted to do even more. Okay? And keep in mind, Mueller was in charge of the FBI for years. So the probability that he's overlooking some areas is slim to none. Okay? Joy, you're saying Clinton got hit with a boot off allegations? Right. Oh, right, Joy. That would be a good title. Sleeping with the Enemy. Number 45. Sleeping with the Enemies. So it seems a little something is off with the way people think in America. And so in part of the title, I got Cray. If you Black in America, you heard the terminology Cray, the slang terminology Cray. People up in here acting Cray. Okay, they better get a clue in real quick. So how about this? For the people who gonna vote for number 45 again, and especially the Black people who rich in melatonin, answer me these questions. Is it okay for your child to die in some feces and be stripped from your household? Because if it is, you're going to vote for number 45 again. Is it okay for somebody to take the shirt off your back and the crumbs out your kid's mouth? Because if it is, you're going to vote for number 45 again. Is it okay for somebody to tell lies every day, all day, have the whole around them lying, should be in prison, hustling people? If it's okay, then you're going to vote for number 45 again. Is it okay for somebody to sit up and talk about women who were made in the similitude of your mother or likeness of your mother, Black men right now, because some Black males voted for Trump and some Black females did too? Is that okay? Because if it's okay, you're going to vote for number 45 again. Is it okay for the administration to bring electrocution back to the degree that they're bringing it back? And we know for a fact that a lot of Black people go to prison who did not do anything at all. And a lot of innocent Black people have been electrocuted. If it's okay and you're all right with that, you're going to vote for number 45 again. If you're okay with that. Okay, if that's okay with you, that's your guy. All right. Is it okay? Can we talk? Can we really talk tonight? Welcome to the Lions Dinner Night. I said, can we really talk tonight? Is it okay for somebody to sit up and be all lovey-dovey and hugged up with another nation that's hacking through everybody's system. You going through databases. You going through networks. Is that okay? Because if it is, number 45 is your guy. That's the one for you. Is it okay for some disabled family member that you may have to be talked about and ridiculed? Because if it's okay with you, number 45 is your guy. Is that all right with you? Because if so, that's your guy. That's the one for you. Is it okay for somebody to tell you, you don't have a brain? What do you have to lose? You may as well vote for me. You don't have the brain. You don't have a brain. Your life ain't worth nothing. He said that before. He didn't say it the way that I said it, but that's the way I took it, because that's what he meant when he said to the Black Americans over here, what do you have to lose? You might as well vote for me. Let me tell you what I got to lose. I got a life to lose. I got family members to lose. I got a generation coming behind me that needs to stand up on a strong legacy to lose. That's what we got to lose. But if that's okay with you, number 45 is your guy. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. I said, can we really talk tonight? That's the guy for you. And is it okay for people when they're doing these mass shootings and they don't look like you or not in the same, if their earth suit don't have the same color as yours, to get off and to get past? If it's okay, number 45 is your guide. And for the people who want to say, well, he appointed a Black person to this, he appointed a Black person to that, just because he's attempting to use Black people as a token does not mean a hill of beans to me. It does not make him any less racist, just like it would not make a bicycle or car if it was parked in the garage. That wouldn't mean a thing. If a bicycle was parked in the garage, that wouldn't mean a hill of beans. That does not make it a car. Does it? It doesn't make it a car. And just because he's using Black, that's an old strategy. That's an old slavery strategy. When the house Negro was pitted against the field Negro, house Negro saying, Massa show been good to us. Massa show feed us good. But you still a slave. But Massa was nice to me today. But you still a slave. Well, Massa, ain't our house nice? But you still a slave and don't own the house. Somebody talk to me tonight. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk tonight? If you're okay with that, that's the guy for you. That's the guy for you if you're okay with that. But I don't think so. Not on my watch. I didn't vote for him the first time and I voted for him the second time. For what reason? Why? Oh, you said pull it back? I'm going to keep it going. If you think big business should get all the tax break and you shouldn't get any as an individual, that's the guy for you. Number 45 is the guy for you. That's the guy for you. If you think big business and the ones who tanked the economy before, Wall Street, should get past and be allowed to do to America what they did before President Barack Obama got in there, then 45 is the person for you. You love him. You in love with that. You love him. You like it. That's your it. That's your guy. That's the guy for you. That's the person for you. If you think that it's okay for everybody else to be ridiculed, then that's the person for you. That's the person you're going to vote for. Okay? I think everyone should know at this point that he don't give a hill of beans for nobody but his. He only cares for his family in his twisted way. Some of this stuff going on in America that people keep co-signing for is cray. It's in the title tonight. It's cray. And some of these people over here acting cray. And you need not send another cray up there to the White House to represent you anymore. Be it a president, a senator, a congresswoman, congressman. Stop sending crays up there to represent you, and they sitting up creating laws against you. For you to consistently do that is cray. Now, you need to send somebody up there to have your interest in mind. That's going to push laws through to benefit you, not strip everything away from you. Especially if you are rich in melatonin and you know your ancestors built this land, okay, laid the foundation over here. You need not act cray and send crays to the White House, because that would make you a cray. Yeah, Alan, he did. He came from reality TV. What did they think? What did they think he was going to do? And people are so intimidated by him for what? For what? Because he kind of tall. Want to have his nose up in the air looking down on somebody? With his little bitty hands, why he want to talk about everybody? With his little hand syndrome? Now, if you think it's okay to boot a bootlicker, you're gonna send number 45. That's the guy for you. That's the guy for you. And for evangelicals who may attempt to come by, it's all good. I have to say this, especially for the people who just love Mike Pence and them, and they love to talk about and minister grace all the time. Just grace. Where sin does abound, grace does much more abound. Where sin does abound, grace does much more abound. I'll say it again. Where sin does abound, grace does much more abound. To justify that foolishness, when in that same Bible it says God hates the hands that shed innocent blood. It's an abomination to them. He hates feet that are swift to running to mischief. It's an abomination to him. In that same Bible, where sin does abound, grace does much more abound. That same Bible, it also says, whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Where sin does abound, grace does much more abound. It also says in that same Bible that you are to repent. That word repent right there means to do a 360 in your character, in your way, in the way you act and behave. I haven't seen that yet from the Sadducees and Pharisees in this common day era. That's what they are considered. That's what they can be alluded to. Sadducees and Pharisees. You can be dying in the street, and they're going to leave you out there to die in the street and look at you and keep on passing by. Okay, the parable of the man who was beaten, and the quote unquote religious people just looked and kept going. But the Good Samaritan stopped, helped him, lodged him until he was back healthy and paid all his fees and debts or whatever he needed. But no, they want to be up there. We're seeing there's a man grace much more about. No, you sowed it, you gonna reap it. And if they don't live to reap it, their kids gonna reap it. No 360 done. Still acting the same way. But you want to sit up there, we're seeing this man grace, there's much more about. Where's the change at? There's no change. What God are they serving? I just want to know. What God would tell you to go strip some kids away from their family and leave them in their feces to die in a camp? What God told you to do that? We're seeing there's bound grace, there's much more bound. Who told you to do that? What God are you serving? I don't think you're serving any. That's what I got to say for the evangelicals. If you cool with that, number 45 is your person. And while I'm right here on the evangelicals who put them in there, the last time I checked also, in that same Bible, it says, woe unto them who should offend any little one. That's kids. It says it would be better that a millstone was hung about their neck and they be drowned into a sea. So, while they sitting up there attempting to teach a message that's supposed to be founded on whatever God they claim they serving, that's what they gonna get. You letting kids die? You letting people die on your watch with your Christian selves. And every time you open your mouth, we're seeing there's bound grace, there's much more bound. Stop it. Stop it. Foolishness. That's foolishness. At least I'm not playing. They do. Stop that foolishness. Stop that foolishness. And why is it always a justification from the evangelicals and they can get a pass when they're Republican on all of their dirty deeds? Why? And then they want to tell you, and there's other evangelicals out there telling people, well, when you go to the polls to vote, vote your Christian conscience. Is your Christian conscience really telling you to vote for somebody who believe groups of people should be killed? Because if it is, you need to go and serve somebody else. If that's what you're being taught, if that's the way you're behaving, you need to go serve somebody else. Or you really need to get an understanding on what you're reading for real and display some brotherly kindness, some love, some goodness, some self-control, some temperance, some meekness. Oh, yeah, it's the truth, Alan. Yeah. You can't come spin the story here. I don't want to hear about your gospel and you're not helping anybody. I don't want to hear about a gospel that does not help people. You say that gospel, keep that gospel for yourself. I don't want to hear about a gospel who think it's okay for everybody else to suffer. I don't want keep that. Keep that for yourself. I know better than that. Reading and comprehension is fundamental. Yeah, you don't get to spend stuff here. I don't want to hear it. Now that's what I have to say to evangelicals, but they want to sit up and condemn uh, same sex. They want to sit up and condemn abortion. They want to sit up and condemn. They pick and choose what they want to condemn, and then they come out so strong on a liar. When the last time I read in the Bible King James version and the Amplified version, it said God hates a liar. Hates. In the word hate is in there. He hates a liar. And you got number 45 in his camp, lying every day, all day. He hates a liar. Not only did it say he hates a liar, it says a liar can't even tarry in his sight. He don't even want a liar in his sight. Now, they need to get their heads out the sand and go in there and tell that lying 45, you don't get your stuff together. Instead of saying, we're seeing there's about great, there's much more about, you don't get your stuff together, you're going to be tormented in a fiery flame. That's what they need to go in there and tell them. Because it's a whole nother side that they don't even mention. And that's the Bible they claim that they read. They need to go in there and tell them, you keep this foolishness going, you're going to be tormented in a flame. How about that? Okay, so we get off the evangelicals. As a people, we need to make sure that we continue to think things through, that we stay on the battlefield. We have a generation coming behind us, and that we don't let people get us twisted up in the foolishness and be out here acting cray. I mean, some people say, oh, it's common sense. But common sense is not so common to everybody. So I say it's good sense. You either have good sense or you don't. Because common sense is not so common to everybody. Everybody needs some good sense. Stuff ain't making no good sense. Also, I want to touch back on the Gray. Garner's family, who was killed. They're still fighting. They're still protesting. Okay? You had an attorney general, Barr, came in and said, shut it down. Let the police officer run free. Give him a pass. Let him keep his job. And then you have evangelicals co-signing for that. Where is the protest for the mass of evangelicals and the Tea Parties on that? Then I had someone tell me in another channel that I watch, made a comment to me. Because I made a comment about ASAP Rocky according to the title that was in the channel. It was about that. And I said, does Black Lives Matter to him now that he got his black behind over there in Sweden locked up? The person begins to proceed to comment, Black lives don't matter. Black lives don't matter is was founded by or is backed and supported by this person, this person, this person, this person, that person. And I had to respond to the person and let them know you don't have a clue. Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Eric Garner, Sandra Bland. We still want justice for Kanika Jenkins. The list goes on and on and on. I had to put in that comment section, all those lives matter. I'm not talking about the organization. I'm talking about the people. The Black lives over here that matter. Yeah. Financially, they didn't respond to me. After that. Oh, you seen that post fly? Yeah. Yeah. That was some foolishness. Alan, you said as individual seeing clocks in heaven. I've not been to heaven, so I don't know. Something else that they brought out that I think the highlights misses all of the business deals number 45 is attempting to make on his family and his own behalf. And at the end of the day, when they go after him for real, it's going to all boil back to the money and his business deals. And that's going to be interesting. That's going to be real interesting. But we need to be some stop. We need to become some self-loving people and begin to stop hating ourselves as a people in America, and especially as a Black people in America, people holistically in America, Americans in general, and especially Black Americans. Stop hating ourselves to the point where we let people duke us and devalue us, and by their actions treat us like we're less than, that we should not have, and spin a story on, oh, that's an entitlement program. Oh, that's an entitlement program. Oh, you're lazy. Oh, that's an entitlement program. Oh, you don't want to work. Wait just a minute. You pay your taxes. That's not an entitlement program. That's an investment program. If it was an entitlement program, it would not be using my tax dollars. That's called an investment program. Let's get that straight. Number two, 400 years without the 40 acres in the Muse, which was a legally bonded contract. Ancestors didn't get. We don't have no entitlement programs over here. We have investment programs. Are we paying into them or what? And the pay into them is not optional, or else look at how twisted this is. You can end up in prison. So we have self-enforced investment programs in America that people like to spend, say, are entitlement programs. Don't let nobody spend this stuff for you. Look at it for what it is for real. Think about it. But you have the billionaires, trillionaires, profiting off of the labor of others, ours, profiting and using the interest off of our money. But they want to sit up and tell you, entitlement program, this just an entitlement, you don't want to work. Hold on. That's not the truth. Start loving yourself. Let me put up some more highlights. That was the quick highlights for Muller. Then you had the news media not focusing on what they should be focusing on. And they're coming out, oh, well, the Democratic side, I don't think they... He said what he said, and he said what needed to be heard. And so that's what the news media need to be focused on, the fact that he could be charged with obstruction of justice, period. That should be the storyline. That was part of the meat that was given today. The other part was, which was no surprise to anybody who's been paying attention and got good sense, they lied. That's why his buddies are in prison now. But they tried to sing like canaries at the end. But they lied in the beginning. They should have told the truth. So you have a side out here trying to say, oh, it's a hoax. It's fake. It's fake news. It really didn't happen. But you have professionally trained investigators go through and investigate everything in terms of our systems that were hacked over here and everything else. But they want you to believe it's a hoax. Say the liable, repeat the liable. Say the liable, repeat the liable. Say the liable, repeat the liable, so people can believe to begin the lie. Let me get to some more highlights. Okay, there we go. All right, let me get to some more highlights. Some of these may be a repeat, but
Did your investigation find that the Russian government perceived it would benefit from one of the candidates winning?
Yes.
And which candidate would that be?
Well, it would be Trump.
Correct. Now, the Trump campaign wasn't exactly reluctant to take Russian help. You wrote it expected it would benefit electorally from information stolen and released through Russian efforts. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
You found, as I understand it, that from May 2016 until the end of the campaign, campaign chairman, Mr. Manafort, gave private polling information to Russian agents, correct?
Correct.
In your investigation, as I understand it, also found that in the late summer of 2016, the Trump campaign, in fact, devised strategy and messaging around WikiLeaks releases of materials that were stolen from the Democratic National Committee, correct?
Is that from the report?
Yes,
That's
it's
right.
according
Yes.
to Mr. Gates.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And you also talked earlier about the finding in your investigation that in September and October of 2016, Donald Trump Jr. had email communications with WikiLeaks, now indicted, about releasing information damaging to the Clinton campaign, correct?
True.
When Donald Trump Jr. and the others got to the June 9th meeting, they realized that the Russian delegation didn't have the promised quote unquote dirt. In fact, they got upset about that, did they not?
Generally, yes.
You say in volume 1, page 118, that Trump Jr. asked, what are we doing here? What do they have on Clinton? And during the meeting, Kirshner actually texted Manafort saying it was, quote, a waste of time, end quote. Is that correct?
I believe it's in the report along the lines you specify.
Did anyone, to your knowledge, in the Trump campaign ever tell the FBI of this offer?
I don't believe so.
And during the course of this Russian interference in the election, the Russians made outreach to the Trump campaign, did they not?
That occurred over the course of, yeah, that occurred.
It's also clear from your report that during that Russian outreach to the Trump campaign, no one associated with the Trump campaign ever called the FBI to report it. Am I right?
I don't know that for sure.
In fact, the campaign welcomed the Russian help, did they not?
I think we report in the report indications that occurred. Yes.
The president himself called on the Russians to hack Hillary's emails.
There was a statement by the president in those general lines.
And numerous times during the campaign, the president praised the releases of the Russian-hacked emails through WikiLeaks.
That did occur.
National Security Advisor Flynn lied about discussions with Russian ambassador related to sanctions. Is that right?
That's correct.
Michael Cohen lied to this committee about Trump Tower Moscow. Is that correct?
Yes.
George Papadopoulos, the president's senior foreign policy advisor, lied to the FBI about his communications about Russia's possession of dirt on Hillary Clinton. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
The president's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, lied about meetings that he had with someone with ties to Russian intelligence. Is that correct?
That's true.
And your investigation was hampered by Trump campaign officials' use of encryption communications. Is that right?
We believe that to be the case.
Russia committed federal crimes in order to help Donald Trump?
When you're talking about the computer crimes charged in our case, absolutely.
The Trump campaign officials built their strategy, their messaging strategy around those stolen documents?
Generally, that's true.
And then they lied to cover it up?
Generally, that's true.
Have we established a new normal from this past campaign that is going to apply to future campaigns, so that if any one of us running for the U.S. House, any candidate for the U.S. Senate, any candidate for the presidency of the United States, aware that if a hostile foreign power is trying to influence an election, has no duty to report that to the FBI or other authorities?
I hope this is not the new normal, but I fear it is.
Get your home and everything.
Well. My. It should be on the T channel, but this is real news. This should be on a gossip site, but this is real news. You heard it from Manafort's mouth yourself. Donald Trump Jr. lied. They had WikiLeaks doing what he does best, a known hacker. They had the Russians making business deals with their administration or part of their campaigning team. Well. You had some big names up in there. Flynn, he lied. Like I said earlier, or mentioned earlier, this whole crew lied. They get to go to prison. They get to do some prison time. I want to know, was it worth it? Because I wouldn't have lied for him. What? What did he promise them? If they was going to sit in prison, he was going to pardon them. But they doing prison time right now. What? Yesterday when I talked about users, don't let people use you to the point where they play you like a fiddle faddle and a fiddler. Because those people, including his former attorney, that they thought was their friend played them like a fiddle faddle, like he was the fiddler. And they sit they fiddle faddle tails behind some cells or on the way there. They're just in a holding pattern until they get there. For lying to somebody who they deem the most powerful man in the world because he's the president of the United States. Well, well, well. Deliberately lied on who? Hillary Clinton. Such a shame. Deliberately hacked who databases? The Democrat databases, in addition to everybody else's. Such a shame. Knew that they would profit if number 45 ran because don't nobody really want to deal with Russia like that. No president with good sense wants to sit down and listen to that foolishness Putin be spitting out of his mouth. Not nobody with good sense. But when you find a dog, you lick him. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. He's all about money. Fly straight up, flat out. That's why he filed bankruptcy on his businesses several times to hide and keep his assets. Go in, you be financially irresponsible, using up a bunch of money time after time again, and then go file bankrupt on businesses on purpose. Not because he really needed help, but because he didn't want to pay. He wants something for nothing, an entitlement mindset. I'm entitled to this. That's number 45 for you. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. Within these highlights from the Muller hearing today, the host of vital information. And if Russia hacking us is not cyber warfare and is not war, I don't know what is. The time to declare us in a war, a cyber war, should have already went out. But oh no, want to sit up and act like we don't see it. This type of leadership that's leading America. Really? Then people had the audacity to say, he loves us. He's good to us. He's done so much for us. What has he done for you? Because he letting his homeboys go to prison. That's what he doing. And if he gonna let his homeboys and his former attorney, who's quote unquote supposed to be his friends, go to prison, what in the world do you think he's gonna do for you when he's never met you before? What profit or benefit are you to him? But people want to vote for him. He's gonna make America great again. By sleeping with our number one enemy, letting them hack us and take our personal information. Social security numbers, addresses, financial information, birth certificates, birthing information, all the information. But he loves us. He's for us. He's going to make America great again. When? Where? How? I haven't seen it. Have you? Where's the proof? Don't be a cray. Crays out here. And then he lied. He lied every day, all day. Lie, 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 lie. It's almost like he came from part of the old J4K community with people who just lie, 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 lie every day, all day. Lie, 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 lie. Every word out their mouth is a lie. We've seen this before. Some of us over here, we've seen this before in part of Kanika Jenkins' quote unquote community. And those people were never conscious, never woke. They came in with an agenda and an angle. And they licked everybody like a dog who allowed themselves to be licked. They licked you for your money. They lied, said that they spoke to people that they did not speak to. People lied, talking about they talked to mom, just lie, 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 said they was there, lie, trying to come up with suspects, just lied, lie, 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 lie. Like I said, everybody who was present when she passed on the premises was a suspect. That's always been my word, and I stand true to that. And that includes the police officers. If they're there when she expired, when her life expired, guess what? You a suspect. You got a lying president. We've seen this before. Don't let people get you in cray land. And therefore, you won't see a lot of people just up over here. Yeah, I do believe in blocking, and I do believe in cutting off foolishness. And if I found out you're a little bit shady or off, won't be a kumbaya moment, won't get a do-over. Oh, I can forgive and accept apologies, but once I forgive you, that don't mean you get to get back in. I've forgiven you. Now move on, and I'll move on. Okay? Yeah. So we got lying running rampant through the land in America with a bunch of liars. Yeah. And why I'm talking about this liar right here tonight, and Cray is in the title and non-credible sources. Let me go here, since I done veered over into the Kanika Jenkins community real quick, real fast, real quick. Answer me this. What sense does it make to sit up and to believe people who have no training, not their profession, to believe anything they're saying about anything when it comes to the validity of anything? They're considered non-credible sources of information. Were they there as an eyewitness? No. Are they any type of professional that can take anything in the court and investigate anything from a professional standing? No. Do they have any good sense? Do they have the good sense as an investigator? No. Have they spoken with her mother? No. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the Crays. Have they even been to Rosemont? No. But they have all this information. And people want to tune in and believe that foolishness and support mess. And we see why number 45 made it to the White House. You got people who need to pull their heads out of the sand and out of the cloud and reclaim their brains so they can think. And you have people who will sit up like they will for number 45 and ride for liars. especially when it comes to Kanika Jenkins. I've seen a host of new people pop up. I've seen some people who were there before resurface. Everybody's not lying, but a lot of people were lying before and they're lying now. You don't see what you see. Number one, you're not using the tools correctly for people who have attempted to use the tools and who've had no professional or formal training. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat, because when you go in and collect any type of electronic evidence, you right block a system. So when you right block the system, that means you can't edit it. You can only read the system when you are retrieving the data. You can't write to it. That makes it non-editable. You're unable to edit and alter the data. Systems need to be right blocked. None of us were there to electronically retrieve any information the day the incident occurred. I've been saying that from the beginning. We have no paper trail of anything being right blocked. I've been saying that from the beginning. We have no chains of custody of what happened prior to it hitting the police officer's hand. Said that from the beginning. Police officers did not go in there to retrieve the information themselves. Said that from the beginning. How in the world can you say you have an authentic anything when the fact of the matter is there's no proof? When the fact of the matter is we don't have the original hard drive. We don't even have a bit-by-bit copy of it. Not an image of it. A bit-by-bit copy. Bit per bit unaltered. So, how can we conclude anything from anything other than the fact that it's been edited, other than the fact that it's been altered, other than the fact that we can go in and extract metadata behind the person who sent the information out? But we got a bunch of people up here who just love to lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Don't be a cray cray. Don't be a cray cray. Ooh, I'm giving some looks tonight. Them Harris looks is coming out tonight. Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. Don't be a cray cray. Stay woke, stay conscious. Don't be a cray cray. Don't be a cray cray. We got too much craziness going on in the land. We have too many non-credible sources, and you should know off the back if it came from a T site, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a non-credible source. Excuse me, some of the news media now are putting out information that's not credible, that needs to be retracted. It needs to be a retraction on information they have put out, on some of these news they have put out. Stay away from non-credible sources. Number 45, non-credible source, liars. Liars are always non-credible sources. Always. And you get people attempting to defend a whole community of people who lied from the beginning. And I have video footage. And I'm mixing the liar 45 in with the people in part of J4K community and other communities as well. I still have video footage of a host of people that they probably don't even know I have. Yeah. 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 Of people who came in lying. Are people who are still on YouTube lying. They may not be lying in the Kanika Jenkins arena anymore, but they on their channel telling lies, and people want to listen to the lies and the foolishness. Don't be a cray cray. Don't be a cray cray. And for new people merging in, no. What are they? I have to ask the question tonight. What are they showing you new that's not already been touched and gone over? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. They don't have anything new to say. I don't think they're saying anything that no one else hasn't already said from over a year plus ago. Don't be a cray cray. Don't. We moved on, waiting for the attorneys to go to court so we can see what they discovered and what their detectives are going to bring in. And you got people out here talking about, we got it now. Oh, we got, oh, is this not? You don't even have what the attorneys have. You don't have what the detectives have. What do you have? What do you got? Who did you question? Because the last time I checked, it was the attorneys that went up there and said, oh, it was a camera on the 9th floor that was operable. Last time I checked, it was the attorney that put it in paper and on writing. Staff was just watching her there on the premises watching, which we already knew, those of us who have good sense. And they were aware. Those of us who had good sense, we already knew that. Last time I checked, and I'm talking about the Kanika Jenkins, and then I'm gonna go back over to the Muller. But I'm just gonna go here. It was her attorney that said, per their investigation, the doors can't lock from the inside of the freezer. They can only lock from the outside. And the last time I checked, they are the ones litigating this case. The last time I checked, they're the ones that's sending out the motions for discovery and affidavits for people to give their testimonies, security company, construction company, kitchen, and hotel workers. Last time I checked. Now, what in the world will any YouTuber have that the attorneys don't got? They have nothing. What can they tell you? And they haven't even been there. They've done no investigation. What they investigated from the computer, they investigated from, now if it's digital investigations, that's different, but you still got to do that right too, or else they can get kicked out of court. Haven't even been there. You can zoom in from Google Earth all you want to. It's a total different perspective when you go there. You get to see the lay of the land for real. Now that's what I have to say to the J4K community and all the new people that's just popping up for views or popping up and think it's new, and it's not. Go back and watch old credible videos, because there were some out there, and some credible channels, because there were some out there. We've been there, we've done that. We waiting on the next level of real now, with an expectation of justice that's going to lead us to something more than what we already discovered or put together. Hi, Brenda. How you doing? Right, Fly. I'm not so much as I shake my head at the stories and the lies people sit up and come up with, and the stuff that they come up. That's what I shake my head at because it's foolish. Some of this stuff is just downright foolishness and crazy. And then you get people over there arguing, going back and forth over non-credible sources. Oh, I'm this. They are non-credible source. They've been told a whole lie. All they do is lie like number 45. And all his friends who was around him lie, 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 lie. Excuse me, I moved my stuff around for a bit. But Brenda, when you go back, we have you'll find video from some of the highlights of the Muller hearing. We did some of that earlier, and let me go back here. Like I said, if I leave you with a takeaway, it is the fact that he said, yes, they lied. From his son on down to his whole team who's helping him campaign, lied. They lied. If he was not president, could be charged. That's what Mueller said. That's all I wanted to know. That's one of the main things I wanted to know. Russia did hack us underseas. That's not new. They've always hacked us. But the information they got, as usual, on people and the target being Black Americans, that don't sit well with me, never will. I don't like that at all. Not at all. To try to play on our intelligence, not cool. They did go with the hacker, well-known hacker, WikiLeaks. Not only a well-known hacker, a good hacker, a rogue hacker, a doggone good rogue hacker, WikiLeaks. The reason why I say WikiLeaks is a good rogue hacker is because of this. I'll show you here. Let's say, for example, this is the media. This is a cable that the data is being transmitted through. You know what WikiLeaks likes to do? Get the information straight from the cables. That's why he's an excellent hacker. He gets his information straight from the data that's being transmitted through the cables. Okay? And that's who they had working with them. I already know he got his information. Plus some. Oh, I'm good, Brenda. I got family coming in tonight. They'll be here around 11:30. So yep, but that's what we discussed. So those are some highlights. And let me stop shaking my stuff around. And some questions answered that I needed answered tonight from the Muller report. Don't be a cray-cray. Using my terminology tonight. Stay woke, stay conscious. And don't let number 45 get back in on your watch. And I'm waiting for somebody to come out with the slogan again and put it on their car, run it back. I don't think so. Run that back. Is he going to be president again? Somebody, I don't think so. Do we want our kids dying in camps in their feces on American? So I don't think so. Somebody need to go ahead and run that slogan back and put it out there. Come on, it's time to come with it. If you're running for president over here, you need to come with it. And you need to include that in what you out there. I don't think so. I don't think so. Just like that with some attitude. Not just your words. Put your weight on it. And your actions too. So when he up there with that foolishness, I don't think so. And just walk him down on all the foolish things he's done. And tell the audience, I don't think so. Not on my watch. Quit playing. Yeah, right. Right. So, with that being said, let me take us back out on a high. I went on my little tangent. September is coming up next month. So, you already know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Not next month, the month after next. You know what it is. A lot of us met each other through J4K, so let's make sure we support in September. I don't collect any monies or anything like that. And if you're sending anything, the contact would be the people who are in Mama T's inner circle. You know, that would be advantageous. Let me send us out on a song. I said, can we talk tonight? Boy, I'm talking to a person in the background. Ladies, I'm gonna send us out on something mellow. You two men, hope you don't mind. I started off. You know what? Wait a minute. Let me pull that Otis Redding back. Let me pull that back. Show a little tenderness. I'm tripping. We got to go out on that tonight. I got to pull him back. Had somebody else up, but let me pull Otis Redding back. All right, come on. Song is taking a minute to play. Okay. All right, there we go. We going out on Otis Redding again tonight. That's what I started with. That's what we're going back out on. And once again, thank everybody for stopping by. You like that, Lee? All right. All right. So let me cue this Otis Redding up because I got to get to the airport. I had to be to the airport by 11:30, which gives me an hour plus, almost close to 2 hours. Pick up some family members. But let's go out on Otis Redding. Is that all right? Welcome to the Lion's Den tonight. Is that all right? Make sure you go back, even if you just go back and look at the sections where it's highlighting the Muller hearing and listen to what's being said. When I fly out to California, I'll be able to sit because I'll be able to sit on an airplane, read through the actual report, make my highlights, and discuss some things that he was not able to get to because he was only there 7 hours. And they say they say it's a thick report. It's a thick report when he went through and did his investigation. Thick reports. It's a lot to read through. So I'm happy he was up there testifying under oath to just kind of get through some things that people didn't read through right away. And he, like I said, he hit what I wanted answered. That this, and this happened. And his answer towards the end, when I pull up the highlights from the person who had it on the end, was yep, he did it. Yep, family did this. Yep. They all did that. Yes, and yes. That's what I wanted to know. But I wanted the proofs to go with it. And they got the proofs to go with it. So Exhibit A, right here, Exhibit B. Yes, that's what I wanted. Let me get to this song.
Oh, she may be weary. Them young girls, they do get weary wearing that same old shaggy dress. Yeah. But when she gets weary, try a little tenderness. Yeah. Oh, man, that. You know she's waiting, just anticipating for things that she'll never possess. Yeah. But while she's there waiting, and without them, try a little tenderness. That's all you gotta do. It's not just sentimental, no. She has her grief and care, yeah. But the soft words, they are spoke so gentle, yeah. It makes it easier to bear. You won't regret it, no. Young girls, they don't forget it. Love is their home. In there, yes. But it's all so easy. You gotta do is try. All you gotta do is hold up where you wanna. Squeeze her, don't tease her, never leave her. Get to her, drop the time, live. Don't bruise her, no. You got to love her. Got to drop, man, drop, live. Yeah, what to do? You got to know what to do.
Okay, that was Otis Redding and Try a Little Tenderness, okay? If you want to please her, squeeze her. She tired of that old raggedy dress. Try a little tenderness. All right. Alan called me a DJ the other day, so I'm cutting up again tonight on the end. Let me stop. You all have a pleasant evening, a pleasant night. Like I said, you can go through and watch the entire 7 hours of the hearing. I only show highlights of the points that I wanted to hear. Yes, no. Did they do this? Yes. Did they do that? No. What you got? Okay, cool. Make sure you go back and watch that. Make sure you be careful whenever you're doing what you're doing. Make sure you support the other channels and love on your family. Tell somebody you love them, squeeze them, hug them, try a little tenderness, even with your kids. And count every day as a precious day, a precious moment. Love yourself. I'll say it again, love yourself. I'm not talking about love yourself to the point where you're just a selfish, stingy person, but love yourself. Love the skin that you're in. Love the you that you are. And I'm talking about the best you can be. If you're evil you, do away with that one and manifest the good you, the best you. And stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke and stay bold. Stay active. All right. With that being said, have a pleasant evening. Have a pleasant morning. If you're on morning time, have a pleasant night. Like I said, I'm going to try to stream every day this week, or I'm going to try to stream as much as possible until August the 1st, because that's when Hangouts on air, panel-wise, is supposed to be going away. Hopefully I can pull some people up here, but what I've noticed is I'm looking at everybody ears and they're trying to get as many people up on their panels lately too. And I'm like, man, every time I come to your channel, you going live like 3 times a day now. You 2 hours here, 2 to 3 hours here. I come back, and later on you doing another hour plus, and then I come back, you got some more people up there where you doing now. I'm like, man, but I wanted you to come over here. So everybody's trying to go hard for the people who, some more people I wanted to come up and discuss some things with you, or, you know, kind of open our mind up to some other things that's going on internationally. They going hard on they're going hard on their channels too, trying to get as many people up on that panel before Hangouts on air goes away. So I understand. That being said, let me get off here. Right, Fly. It's like everybody's trying to get a whole bunch of people. Like I said, for me, it's like everybody will still be able to live stream. It's the fact that the ease of having people on your panel from a national and international level with such ease is going away, and they've yet to come up with a replacement. Okay, they have nothing to replace it. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but everybody's trying to get as many people, the people I want to come in, trying to get as many people as possible up on their panels before they have to go out and pay and use all this third-party software that's going to pull on your operating system or on your PCs. So with that being said, like I said, I got to get out of here in a few hours, about an hour and 45 minutes, and meet family at the airport. You all have a pleasant evening, pleasant night. Stay woke, stay bold, everybody. Make sure you vote. Don't let nobody hoodwink and bamboozle you and pull the wool over your eye. Bye-bye, everybody.